Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the chapter Models. Before starting it, let's understand how it is connected to verb. When we talk about the verb, what is verb? It denotes the action of the subject. Like here, I have written an example. He is running. Here, the subject is he and the action is running. So, running will be the verb. But what about is? So that's why verb has two parts, auxiliary and main. Auxiliary is also known as helping verb. Helping verb which helps the subject to connect with the main verb. Here is doing what? It is helping the subject to connect with the main verb running. So these verbs are known as helping or auxiliary verbs. So like is, we have am, are, was, were, has, have, had. All these are auxiliary or helping verb. Now, these helping verbs are divided into two parts, primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. This is the model which we are going to study in this chapter. Primary auxiliary which change according to the subject, means those helping verb which change according to the subject. Suppose I have written here he is running, but suppose I have changed the subject. I have written I. So I will not write I is running. I will write I am running. So you can see that the verb, the primary auxiliary is has changed. Because it was he, we have used is. Now we are saying I, we are using am. So these primary auxiliaries change according to the subject. Okay. They also change according to the tense. Suppose we are talking of any present action, then we will say like I am going to school. But suppose it is a past action, I will not say I am going to school. I'll say I was going to school. So here also am has changed into was. So the primary auxiliaries are changing according to the subject as well as according to the tense of the sentence. But modal auxiliaries, these auxiliaries never change according to the subject. I can say he can swim. I can say I can swim. I can say you can swim. So these are not changing according to the subject. It means what? They are not depending on the subject. They depend on the situation. We will see how they are depending on the situation when we will study the rules of the model. So now this is the actually basic of verb divided into auxiliary and main. Auxiliary helps the subject to attach with the main verb. Auxiliary differentiate into two, primary, modal. It is divided into two, primary and modal. Primary change according to the subject and tense. Modal change according to the situation. Now let's start the chapter. Now uses of modals. The use of modal auxiliaries depends on whether the speech of the speaker is formal or informal and how important it is. Okay, formal or informal. The speech is formal or informal means what, in which situation we are speaking that sentence. As I told you earlier. Rules. What are the rules of using modal auxiliaries? First is modal auxiliaries cannot be used without a main verb. Okay, main verb like here can, it is modal. Main verb is play. So main verb is always required. Next, modal auxiliaries do not change their form according to the person and number of the subject. As I told you, it never depends on the subject. It is not changing according to the subject. The modal auxiliary cannot be used with the to infinitive. What is to infinitive? When we place to before any verb, it is called to infinitive. But modal auxiliaries, we can't place to before modal auxiliary. to shall, to may, to might. These are wrong. We don't say like this. Okay. Next is the model auxiliary does not take the past participle or the present participle form. Means when we use model auxiliaries, we never use the past forms like taken, okay, terrifying, ing form. Ing form, it is what? It is present participle form. It is past participle form. So these past and present participle forms, we don't use model auxiliaries with these present and past participle forms. The model auxiliary is always followed by the base form of the main verb. Base form, which is the verb's first form. The model auxiliary can always be used with the base form of the verb. Okay. Now, see, we say Krish will help you. She can bake delicious cakes. But we never say Krish will helping you. She can baking delicious cakes. So you can see we are using the main base form of the verb help, bake. We are not using present or past participle. Okay. However, if the model auxiliary is followed by be or have, the main verb takes a changed form. Okay. If after the model auxiliary we are having be form. Okay. We are having be form. Then it can be used present and past participle. Understood? Now come to the function of models. Can, could, may, might, must, need, ought to, dare. Like these are basically the model auxiliaries. Now see, where can and could is used. They can be used in possibility. Like, can the auditorium accommodate so many people? They could put up the house for sale. These are possibilities. Ability of power. I can play the piano. I can. It means what? It is showing your ability. Okay. Next. Permission. Can we carry on with the experiment? You can take my car if yours has gone to the mechanic. So giving permission, taking permission. For taking permission we can use can. Polite expressions. Could I switch off the fan? Politely you are asking. Okay. Could we help ourselves to some ice cream? So in polite expressions we are using can. May is used for permission, purpose, possibility, doubtful possibility, expressing a wish. So these are the function of the model auxiliary may. Okay. In these situations the model auxiliary may can be used. So you can see that for permission, possibility we have may also, and we have can and could also. Might. Extreme politeness, gentle reproach or displeasure. In these situations we are using might. Must. Must is used for fixed determination, necessity, compulsion, inevitability, certainty or strong possibility, duty, obligation. Okay. These are the situations where we are using must. Go to the next page. Need. Used as a principal verb to mean require. Means need means what? A requirement. Like he needs money. So what it means? He requires money. When used as an auxiliary verb, it is used in negative sentences. When it is used as an auxiliary verb, he need not attend the practice session. Okay. Here see, he needs money. Here we are not using it as an auxiliary verb. Here we are using it as a main verb. But here he need not attend the practice session. Here attend is the main verb. Need is what? Auxiliary verb, helping verb. So when it is used as an auxiliary verb, it will go as in the negative sentence. Used in interrogative sentences. Need we inform the police? It can be used in the interrogative sentences also. In the past form, it is used as need, have, in interrogative sentences and need not have in negative sentences. So when it is going with the past sentences, it will used with need and have. If it is affirmative, it will be need he have. If it is negative, it is you need not have. Okay. Next is ought to. After ought, we always place to. This ought to is used to show duty, obligation or moral responsibility. Dare. Interrogative sentences, challenge, venture or courage in negative sentences. So basically dare is used for challenge and venture and courage in negative sentences. Like he dare not disobey his grandfather. Now next see the point. While can and could both mean possibility or ability to do something in the present or past, be able to indicates possibility, ability at all times. Can and could. It show possibility and ability to do something in the present. For present we use can. For past we can use could. We should use could. Be able to. This phrase indicates possibility and ability all the times. Means in the present also and in the past also. Now next and the last is given the use of must. Must does not have a past tense form. It expresses the speaker's personal feelings. We use have to, have got to, had got to denote external compulsion. Okay. Like we have to reach school early. It is external compulsion. It is not a personal feeling. So in place of must, we'll have to use have to. We had to reach school early for past. For past external compulsion. Means this is what? Compulsory. We used to use had to, not must. Because must is used for speaker's personal feeling. These compulsions are not personal feeling. So we will use have to, have got to, had got to, these phrases. Okay. So what is most important in this chapter is the use of, what are the uses, what are the function of different models. So you will have to learn that in which situations a particular model is used. Like ought to is used for duty, obligation or moral responsibility. So you will learn these functions of every model auxiliary. Okay. And you will try to solve all the exercises. That is it for this video lecture. Thank you everyone.